Aloha, everybody. Hopefully, you can all hear me this week. And let's get straight into it. So, we've had approximately 1,700 new players have arrived on the channel this week. So, every single one of them has loads of questions. So, we're going to approach some of those questions tonight and answer them live. Now, welcome to the WarHQ, the Sunday Briefing, and I'm Paul. So let's get on with it. A quick hi and good evening to Galacticus49. Good to see you on the channel, guy. So the segment number one, our weekly debrief, as it were. So the beginner wave that we've got attracting the channel is real. So like always, I need all you guys who have played for a little bit to stick around, help out with all those comments that we're getting in. Every little piece of help is accepted and wonderful. Aloha, David. Aloha, everybody. The video we did about your first bolt action game dropped on Monday. It's already up to about 1,500 views, and up to today, Pinning is Winning dropped on Thursday. It's a technical video this month. That's doing very nicely. There's a few questions and a couple of things from that. The One Box Challenge. Where are we with our community submissions? Well, we're doing fantastic. Those submissions are on the Facebook group, the Bolt Action Bootcamp, and you'll see them in the comments. Oh, the other way. The comments just off to the side here. Oh, this is really difficult to do on camera. So go into the Bolt Action Bootcamp and keep up with everybody's posts there. And we shout out to Warlord. They are starting to help with the channel. They've given me an affiliate link. I'll put it in the description somewhere on this video when it goes up. So that's kind of all that's been happening. As I said last week, you guys have made this channel kind of blow up in our tiny little niche, which is fantastic. So thank you all very much for that. I really appreciate it. So, beginner corner. We're going to work through some of the questions that came into us this week. Which nation is the easiest for a beginner? Everybody still keeps asking me. My answer is the same as it is in the video. I would go with either the US, United States, or Germany, maybe not Germany, but United States, possibly Germany for beginners, and British if you want a bit of rules depth. So if you don't know, you don't have a passion, I will say, first of all, go for whatever you're passionate about. I did Commandos first just because I was passionate about them. Some other people choose a unit their granddads or even their fathers were in. Or if you're, current serviceman, you might go for a unit that you're currently serving in, but in the Second World War. Fantastic. Do those first. If you don't have any real idea or passion about it, go for the US as your first and easiest bet. You'll branch out after that, but it's a good introduction to the game. Does the starter set have everything I need? Well, all the look at them very carefully. Some of the starter sets come with a mini rule book, which will give you the full set of rules. And it's really quite helpful, and it'll save you, I don't know what the rule book is now, about £35. It's about £28 on a PDF. I prefer the PDF versions of rule books because the PDF versions are much easier to search for the rules. As you'll find out, sometimes it's quite a rule that you're looking for can be in 4 different sections, which sounds nuts, but as you get into the game, you'll find that is so a PDF version of the rules, which you can buy online, read on a tablet or a computer screen, whatever. It's much easier to find rules. It's what I use when I'm refereeing games, just so I can find all the links to that particular rule or that piece of equipment. And some of the starter sets are just the army, so it's just the models. So you don't get dice, you don't get order dice, You don't get tape measures, you don't get dice bags, and you don't get rule books or army books. So again, have a look at the video. If you're unsure, any of you new guys or the guys on here will be happy to explain to you. And believe me, any of the guys in the Bolt Action boot camp, can't even say it, they will be more than happy to assist and probably confuse you. Or, of course, you can just contact me. I will get back to you. I'm on top of the comments at the moment. If there's anything that any of you haven't heard back from me, pop me a wee reminder. I am getting old. I am very forgetful. But yeah, you can pop on and ask me if you want. What's the one box challenge and can I enter? Well, of course you can enter. Go to the Bolt Action Bootcamp on Facebook. As I've said, the rules are quite simple. I don't have them written down here, so let's see if I can remember. And are they that simple? So the first thing is you're trying to build a 500-point army out of one box of Warlord Games miniatures, which is 30 miniatures. So you don't have to use Warlord Games if you don't want to, but I would suggest Warlord Games. Just buy your first box. Box is round about £25 to about £37, depending on where you're buying them from. And it's a great way into the game. It's a great starter for you, and it's a good points value for learning the games once you pick up a rule book. Or you can, if I have it here handy, you can ask me for reference sheet. Here, it's 2 sides of A4. Gives you all you need to be able to play the game without the rule book. It's much better if you have the rule book, don't get me wrong. But these, it's a simplified version of the rules. Very handy if you're playing a game to refer to rather than having to pick up the book all the time. So just drop ref sheet in one of the comments and I'll send that out to you completely free, because I'm that generous, which is a lot to be said for a Scotsman and one coming from Fife, because we are not known for our generosity, I'll tell you. So the challenge, I was going to explain the challenge. So one box, 30 figures. It needs to be a legal list. So you've got to have at least one officer and two infantry sections, and then build out the rest you can from the box. You can use bits, or you can use 3D printed bits if you have them. For the challenge, there is no vehicles for the challenge, but if you're playing a 500-point game, because you don't get vehicles in the box, if you're playing a 500-point game, you might want to try and take some anti-tank, which most boxes will let you build. And if they don't, you can always arm your troops with grenades, which will help you. So get the rule book. We'll maybe have a look at anti-tank options for small armies. So because this is building up to a tournament that we've got going on the 10th of October in Falkirk. It's a 500-point. At that tournament, you're allowed to take vehicles up to +7, although I think we may be limiting the numbers. And that's basically the challenge. Put up your pictures, show us how you're building. So I want to share something here, because one of you good people, don't actually know if he's on here tonight. Hello, Raven. I don't know if he is on here tonight, but let's have a look and see if I can share this Facebook page. Yes, Tanker Bricks. Let's share this. This is Tanker Bricks' YouTube channel. If you can go and give them some help, I would appreciate it. If you feel able to. What did I click there?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever
Hey,
I am Tanker Bricks, and in today's video,
let's turn that off. There's too many buttons here. As you can see, he's got a couple of videos up here. If I can just get this down. How's this not working? There we go. It's fantastic. He does the Lego building armies with bricks. Oh, my thing's going weird here, so I'm going to take it back off. But go to Tanker Bricks' channel. He builds Lego bolt action, essentially. It maybe didn't start off as bolt, but it's the sort of roughly the same scale. You can play bolt action with Lego, and why not? I am going to love, one day I'm going to take a Lego army to a tournament just to see their faces. But he's also following the challenge. He's put up a couple of videos there. Go and give him some love. Subscribe if you feel it's appropriate for you, because that would be fantastic. Help him along a bit. And he's just one of the people that's really taken into and getting the spirit of this whole thing. And yeah, so a few people have been asking us if we can give them the rules for the tournament that we're going to be running. Excuse me, just trying to get some rubbish out of the way there, guys. And Craig Brown, who is organising the tournament, I'm his gopher on the day. I'm going to be refereeing on the day, but we're both going to be playing as well because it's only 500 points. What could possibly go wrong? So we are going to produce the pack, and we're making it available to anybody who wants a copy of those rules so they can run their own wee competition at the club, at the local store, just whatever community you've got going. We're going to put those rules out. They're really very, very simple, so that anybody that wants them can have those. All right, that's the one box challenge. And yeah, thank you, Raven. Got to love free stuff. If you want the reference sheet, as I said, just pop ref sheet in the comments and we'll get that out to you. Lovely. Okay, moving on. Oh, let's have a look. There's a couple of things I was looking for some feedback for you, because we've got 10 of you on now. You know where your keyboards are. Some of you might be at work or something, so you might not be able to answer. But I did a battle report, just one box battle report. If any of you have watched it, I'd love to get some feedback on that. Did you enjoy it? How could I improve it? It was basically just a reasonably close-up shot of the table as I was playing a 500-point game, and looking to see if there's anybody who's wanting to see more of these sort of 500-point battle reports. And the style that I did it in was a commentary style, so trying to give you a little bit of an idea as to what I was thinking. My thinking isn't always very logical, but however, go and have a look. I'd really appreciate a little bit of feedback about it to see if we're going to go a bit further down that route. Okay. The other thing as well, I did mention this last week. Give me a thumbs up over in the comments, which are actually on that side. Oh, it's difficult with this camera. And yeah, if just give me a thumbs up if you'd like me to do a review of the new Commonwealth book out. I think it might be a good idea, but I would approach it from sort of newcomers and, you know, those of us who have played, you know, maybe 20 or 30 games and looking to improve, rather than the, you know, what are the gamey, for want of a better word, units, and how can we get the best advantage out of it. Just do it as a sort of general kind of review and first look to see if you guys are interested in buying it. Now, quick sip of my tea. And no, I'm not 50. I'm a couple of years older than that. Gosh, and I'm not the lady of the manor. But anyway. So let's have a look at some of the action in the Bolt Action Bootcamp. If I try and bring up the Bootcamp page here, see if it's working. The only thing, I've got the chat on here and it's fairly active tonight with one thing or another. So if we go down, let's have a look at what's in the boot camp. There were some quite nice bits. Here we've got Richard Hamblin. He's showing you what he's going to do, having a wee look at those sprues there. So he's going on with Japanese. He's looking for some help. So go on there, guys. Go and give him a bit of help. Scott, I know he's one of the subscribers. Aloha, Scott. And that's what he's doing with them. Oh, look at that handsome chap. Let's have a look what else is going on. Yeah, good looking chap. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the 500 500 point one box challenge. That was great. What else is going on? Some close-ups there. A little bit of stuff going on. Let me drag this down a bit further. Somebody who's just come across the challenge there for the first time. That's quite nice. Soviets, yes, I've old Soviet set and the Soviets use German weapons, and why not indeed? It's your game, you do it as you want. Here's a little work in progress from Tero. He's doing Soviets, they're looking very nice, those bright blue caps there. You can see what's happening on the Bolt Action Bootcamp. There's lots of general stuff. Ooh, nice. So, oh, my funny head keeps coming up. That's nice. Yep, somebody else doing the challenge. So you can kind of see what's going on there, and lots of pictures to give you a little bit of inspiration. So please go there and hang out. Any questions you've got about the challenge, just let me know. When we're building lists for when we're building lists for the 500 point challenge, almost half your list is probably going to be taken up with your officer and your two infantry groups. Now, it is possible to get 2 platoons in if you keep them very cost effective. There are some units that you can get as, for example, inexperience, which count as troop choice, that might only cost you 30 or 40 points. So you could end up spending just, 100 points on inexperienced troops for that first platoon, and then you can use the other 400 points in another platoon. So I know some people, not in the challenge because it's not allowed, would kind of maybe have an armored platoon, or you might want to have an engineer platoon, because some of the boxes give you flamethrowers in them. I think one of the German boxes has flamethrowers, or using bits and pieces, you could use flamethrowers, have a couple of engineering units, which would give you something a wee bit different. So you've kind of got to think how you would do it. The French, somebody was asking me about the French the other day. I think we might have a comment about the poor old French in here somewhere. We'll come back to that. So you could have 2 platoons to try and get 2 artillery observers, for example. At the moment, with the French being a PDF list, and we'll actually come to that very shortly, with the French being a PDF list, the artillery observer can bring in 2 strikes instead of the 1 with each artillery observer. I've got a feeling that is going to be rectified in the new book very shortly. But for the time being, that's one way you could go down. There are other options there. So have a little think about it, see what's going to work best for you, and you can always try playing a few wee games. Now, October tournament. Yeah, so the October tournament is the 10th of October. And that's in Falkirk. I will be playing there, and we'll maybe try and do a live stream of one of the games, and I'll try and video maybe 1 or 2 of the games as the 500 point, and they'll be played pretty swiftly if we're playing against people that are experienced players. So it might be quite good to get them on tape, and depending on the results I get here in the comments, I might go over and do a commentary style over them, or I might just put one up as a live just so you can see it. There'll probably be a lot of noise, but something to watch on October the 10th, perhaps. Let me know if you'd be interested in watching one of the games live, probably on Facebook or on here. Well, I could do it on YouTube, couldn't I? If you're interested in that, let me know, and I will live feed one of the games so that you can watch, and probably if we've got some of our American friends and Canadian friends on here, as well as others. We'll probably do one of the last games on the day. So it'll probably be about 4 p.m. in the afternoon, Greenwich Mean Time, roughly. So if you'd be interested in that, let me know. And of course, for the One Box Challenge, remember we've got Warlord Games official support. We're going to have 2 army boxes that we can give to whoever myself and Warlord thinks have put the most effort into their 500-point army, and the most effort and backstory and whole thing. We're going to pick the best one, whichever we like it, and we'll be getting a box army out to 2 of those. So we're going to pick 2, not just the best one, the best 2 that we think, and I'll get Warlord and myself will choose those. So don't fight over them. It's just for fun, or I might just keep them myself because I'm a miserable old man. Anyway, good. So that's the challenge taken care of. Yeah, we've done that now. So now I'm going to open the floor. We've got a few more folk in at the moment. Aloha to everybody. I'm first going to go over what comments we've got here, and then we'll move on to open question and answer. So if you've got any questions and answers about rules, tactics, painting, or indeed anything, just put them in the comments here and we'll get to those in a minute. And I'll maybe read off some comments that have been sent in to me. Aloha, Joseph. Oh, it must be morning in Australia, I'm guessing. So thank you for turning up and showing up. That's excellent. Oh, an international crowd. How wonderful. So what was I going to do? Oh, comments on here. Let's have a look. How was your week and how's the French coming along? That's from Raven Hobbies. The French are looking, I don't know if you can see that. The French are looking quite grey at the moment, to be honest. This is the kind of paint scheme I'm going to go with. Where's the camera? Up there. I don't know if you can see it. So they're going to be kind of deserty Japs from Africa, which I quite like the look of. And we'll paint up that 500-point army. Although I'm starting to think it's a bit weak against some armies I could mention. I played against one of my pals at the club, Robbie, last week. I did tape it, but unfortunately we played on a dark battle mat and you can't really see any of the figures, so it's not really great television. So, but he absolutely thumped me last week, absolutely crucified me. He was playing an Italian, I think it was Italian list, and it was excellent. It really was. What else we got on? Let's have a look. Oh, lots of comments coming in here. Thank you very much, guys. Love the comments. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a video possibly in the next week just to give you my progress on the French Raven and see how that's going on. That's good. That's good. I'd like to know how you deal with armor at 500 points. Did we just bring that up or not, David? I played against early war Germans last week, and he brought 2 light tanks. The cheater. How dare he? I had nothing that could deal with him. Well, David, it depends what army you're playing. Now, almost all the boxes will have either something like a bazooka, or Panzerfausts, or they'll have anti-tank rifles. So you want to arm yourself up with 1 or 2 of those if you know he's going to be bringing tanks. I often, even at larger point games, I will run infantry armies against armored armies, because at the end of the day, bolt action is a game of infantry. Now, tanks can be scary. They can cause a lot of damage. But in general, unless you're playing a Tank Wars event, I think I'm going to go up to the club up in Aberdeen here, do a kind of 1,500-point tank battle that I'll be going to. But tanks can't take objectives. In some cases, they can contest objectives, but they can't take them. So if you kill the other guy's infantry, and if he's got tanks, he's going to have less infantry. It means he can't take the objectives if it's an objective game. Now, if it's a If it's not an objective game, maybe a dice game, we have a bit of a problem because you really do have to take them. So one option that is open to all infantry is taking anti-tank grenades. I think they cost 2 points per model. So even at 500 points, you could probably have one unit that had anti-tank grenades, and that would give you a chance to deal with some of these tanks. So that's one possibility. But David, if you let me know what army you're playing, I can probably give you some better idea of your choices. Hope that helps a little bit. What else have we got? Dealing with armor. Kraticus, very slow start for his Japanese. Get some painting done. Get them off on the board. You can't be doing any worse than me. I'm doing next to nothing here, mate. Yeah, go live feed. Yeah. Oh, Raven, you picked up the paint for your British the other day. Fantastic. What paint brand are you using? I am a big fan of the Army Painter and their new range, which is, I forget the name of them. They're called Fanatic. And I find they're really, really good. I do have a few Citadel paints in my collection, so I really like the base paints. And I also have 1 or 2 speed paints. I'm not a big fan of speed paints, but I see a lot of good things online. And I have done a couple of speed paint videos on speed painting, I think Americans, and I can't remember who the other lot was. So can be done. I'm not a big fan at the moment, but I'd like to get better at using speed paints. Where are we? Okay, Mark the Shark. Aloha, Mark. 1968. Gosh, you're nearly as old as me, but not quite. I'm still the elder man here, probably. What does Mark the Shark say? Question: do you paint them together, the infantry, or put them together then paint? It seems as though it would be easier to paint first, but I'm looking for guidance. Okay. This is a really good question. And a lot of people just do it a different way. Some people even paint them on the sprue and then put them together. So there are advantages and disadvantages, and you kind of have to find what probably works best for you. I have always assembled the models, usually fully, but sometimes I'll leave 1 or 2 bits off. So sometimes I'll leave one of the arms off, because I find that once they're painted, if you're using glues, it can make a mess of the paint job if you're not really accurate and careful. And what you want, because plastic glues melt the plastic, you need to scrape off where you're going to put your glue. You need to scrape the paint off a little bit to allow it to have a good fix. I would not recommend using super glue. A lot of people use super glue. Super glue is great, but the trouble is it doesn't melt the plastic and join it as plastic glues can. And for that, I would suggest, if you're using them, I have, this one's Plastic Magic. They're all very similar, this type of glue, rather than one out of a tube. But they come on a little brush. I don't know if you can see that. Let's put it up against my horrible head. They come on a little brush, and you know, you can just brush it on and it fixes fairly quickly compared to a lot of glues, and it is quite strong. So the answer to the question is I actually finished my models. So as you can see, the French here that are going to be coming up for painting shortly, I've actually fully assembled them. Then what I'll do is I'll put the base on. So whatever I'm going to use to base them, I'll glue that to the base. Excuse me, then I'll undercoat them and then I'll paint them from there. Is how I do it. Hope that answers the question. But try painting one on a sprue and seeing how it works. You can get into more details, but as I say, assembling them can be a bit of a guddle, and you can sort of ruin what you're hoping to be is a very nice paint job. But sometimes, as I say, I will leave an arm off. If it's somebody that's in the firing position, I kind of leave this arm off so I can see their body and paint their body, and then I'll add the trigger arm, if that makes sense. Hope that answered it. Early war British, David Lloyd. This was a question about how do we deal with tanks. Anti-tank rifles are your friend, my friend. Use them very wisely. 2-man squad. but anti-tank rifles are what you want, and you do get those on the sprues in the British and Piats. People much malign a Piat, but I've seen many a huge tank taken out by a teeny weeny Piat. You do have to get them a bit closer, 12-inch range, but they can still do an awful lot of damage, especially if you can get on the rear. Now, a thing I've seen people using with anti-tank rifles is getting into point blank range at the rear of a tank. So now, rather than the 2 penetration, you have an extra penetration for being in point blank. That's a +3 on the rear of a tank. If you take a Tiger, you're rolling a 5. Well, I've seen a Tiger fall to that. And on any small armored cars that maybe, if they've got recce, they've had the dice played, if you can get in behind them, do a point blank shot with a anti-tank rifle, hitting on 3s, because you'll have moved in point blank, and then your +3 armor penetration, they become quite a handy little weapon if used correctly. It takes a bit of skill to get them in the right position, but those are kind of your options. And of course, anti-tank grenades, as I've already said, David. Hope that helps. Let me know how you get on. Joseph has been building an SAS army. Oh, I love the SAS. One day I'm going to do an SAS army. I just love the whole thing, especially there's here in the UK, there is a BBC series about the SAS set in the Second World War. It's absolutely magic. And oh, yes. Have any of you guys seen something on the telly, a film or a program, and thought, that's for me? I've done a Kelly's Heroes Army. I just love my Kelly's Heroes Army. I hope they bring back those rules. I just love that army. But anyway, I'm getting excited. Sorry, I shall calm down. Anyway, Joseph is saying he's building an SAS army that's primary infantry and soft skins. Yeah, because why would you do it any other? Trying to keep as fluffy as possible. Oh, we love the fluff. But remember, our fluff is real fluff, not like all these other space soldiery games. They make up their fluff. We've got proper fluff. Have never played using recce rules before. Any advice? I couldn't access the reference sheet. First of all, Joseph, send me a message and I will send you the link, because I need to get your email to send it. So I want to do that privately. Once it sends, check your trash and spam folders, because they quite often go to there. If you're still having a problem, contact me again and I'll get it to you somehow or other. Joseph, any advice about recce? Okay, recce. I love recce. So basically, we will go over the rules in a future video as such. Basically, recce, if you don't have an order dice on your recce vehicle, or can be on cavalry, for example, you can choose to do a recce move or an escape move, which allows you to move out of line of sight. You need to know the full rules for recce. If you have a look at my videos on cavalry, it does go over the rules for recce, or as in cavalry, it's called the escape move. You do need to move them, because the first thing you have to do, if you can, you must get out of line of sight. First of all, if you can't get out of line of sight, you must try and make the cover save. You must try and improve your cover save. And then you just need to, after that, the next set, you move away from the model, read the rules properly. They're a bit rules lawyerish. You can move towards the enemy as long as it either gets you out of line of sight or it increases your cover. But you have to be very careful with the wording on these ones. I do love recce, but the antidote to recce is ambush. Another drink of tea. So if you have a recce vehicle, quite often we have small recce tanks. What you want to do is don't fire at it, because it'll recce out the way. Put the unit you want to fire at it on ambush. So now if the vehicle recces, you can fire at it and it can't get out of the way, because you fire at it wherever you choose in its movement. And then what you do, once you've got the ambush set up, is you fire at it with another unit. So the eye now has to take the fire from the second unit, or if it moves, it's going to take the fire from the first unit that you put on ambush. I hope that sounded sensible. But have a little play about with it. As I say, have a look at the video I did for the cavalry. I'll explain some of it to you. But if this is a thing, I'll go over the recce rules. I absolutely love recce. I think it's brilliant. But if one of the things you want to use your recce vehicles last as well. So don't decide you've got recce vehicle, you're going to move him, do a shot early in the game, because now he's used these dice, he can't recce. So you want to use him as one of your last dice, so that if he gets shot at beforehand, you can choose to recce. Hope that kind of gives you some advice. I think I'm going to do a video on this one because I didn't really explain that terribly well. Good. Raven, I generally use Army Painter Fanatic. Yeah, I love AK. I used AK quite a lot for my airbrush AK paints, and they were excellent. I like them a lot, but Army Painter I love. Joseph, Rogue Heroes has been the inspiration. Yeah, of course, Rogue Heroes, that's the BBC program, and it is absolutely fantastic. Just for just now, do you have my email, Joseph? I'm going to put my email in here, Joseph, so please don't spread it about. I'll get enough junk in there as possible. Just put it in the comments there for you. Anybody else here, you're welcome to use it, but try not to get me on. Try not to sell porn to my house as a joke, for example. David, he's got so many brands of paint. That's a situation of, I used to have loads of brands of paint. And one day I said, I'm chucking them all out. I just want something that gives me lots of different shades of the same color, so I don't have to mix paints, because I'm a lazy painter. And Army Painter does it. They have triads. In fact, they do 6 paints in a triad. Don't know how that works, but it's fantastic. I don't have to mix shades, and I use my wet palette. Brilliant. Some are much better. Yes, and some are better for different things. So I use Citadel shades for my inks. Is it shades they call them? Yeah, Citadel shade is what I use for my inks and washes. And I think they're excellent. Although I do think our Army Painters are good as well. I use Army Painters as well. So, you know, once you've been painting for a while, you kind of find out what you like. And if you go to some of the shows and the flea markets and things, you can sometimes pick up paint for, you know, £1 a pot or something. It's not terribly expensive. Good. Leslie, I'm having problems. Leslie, aloha, Leslie. Right, I'm having problems. Recce escape move, such as how far and how many turns. Okay, I don't have the access to the army to the rule book just off the top of my head, so I will come back. If you drop a message to me on this video when it goes up, I'll come back and I'll answer that question precisely. Now, off the top of my head, and this is my head because I'm an old guy, how it works is how far and how many turns. It depends on your unit. So most units will do a normal move. So that would, for a weird vehicle, would be 12 inches, for example. And it's an advanced move, so you can do 2 turns, like usual. Now, some vehicles are dual directional, or they can turn on the spot, for example, and they can do a run move to recce away. If they do the run move, I think they can still only do the 1 turn, but it is stated specifically in the book under the recce rule for vehicles off the top of my head. But message me and I'll do it. David saying, isn't full reverse in a straight line? It was in version 2, but now I believe you can reverse and do 1 turn. But check it up. because that's just going off my memory. If I was ruling this in a game, I would check it on my iPad, which I don't have here at the moment. Correct, because you're still using paints from the 1990s. Oh, some of us weren't even born in the 1990s. You're giving away your age, young man. But yeah, if they still work, I had a lot of Citadel paints and they got very, very chunky. And I ended up putting in some paint thinner in them, giving them a good shake, and they were as good as gold. In fact, some of them were gold. Fantastic. Okay, I'm definitely going to do a video on the Recce rules because we all need to know them. And I should know them, but I don't. Fantastic. Right, so where are we at? Gosh, time is moving on. Ooh, let's have a look. What else are we doing? So what are we planning to do with the channel in the next wee bit? I have my notes handily prepared. So next week, I'm going to do a little video on the Sarissa, buildings. A little sort of how to paint. Oh, you don't want me that close up. A little maybe how to paint, and a little bit how to get them fixed up. And I think a little bit for the guys new to it on a possible setup. I'm working on the solo rules at the moment so that people can get access to them. And I've got a couple of scenarios, and it will show you how to lay out a table for a 500-point game at solo, and I think I do 1,000-point and maybe a 1,250-point game. I can't remember the exact ones now, but I'm writing those up just now so they'll be available. They will be riddled with mistakes, so when they do come out, please don't expect too much, but send in the corrections for me. I'm always happy to be corrected. Aloha, Scott. It's nice to see you. Oh, I know we can't be at a handy time for everybody, but thank you very much for turning up. I'm very appreciative to all you guys for turning up. I know Lauren sometimes watches, so aloha, Lauren. And I don't know if Brian's on tonight. Aloha, Brian. All pals from my club. What else is going on? I'm going to do a video on my one box challenge, show you how I'm getting on or how badly I'm getting on. I'm hoping to do a video on us playing solo as a battle report, so you can kind of see how it works. It'll be a bit rough around the edges, but I think that might be quite interesting, and you might spot some mistakes there that you can tell me about, or even improvements. Anything we can do to improve it would be fantastic. Next Saturday, I'm going to a tournament in Glasgow. Now, what's it? It's the ACVC Club, which is the... Ooh, what is it? Oh, I forget what they call it. Let me bring this down. What does ACVC stand for? It stands for Art and Craft for Veterans Club Hub. I think that's it. So it's a little one-on-one at it's a club against club tournament, and they've asked me to step in to help them out a little bit there. They were things like they were short of a player, so I'm going to be at that. We're going to play 2 points of, I think it was 1,500 points and a maximum of 5,000, 1,500 or 1,250, with a maximum of 15 dice. So there's going to be a lot of armor. There's going to be a lot of veteran units. I'm going to be playing the US. I'm going to have 2 M15 gun trucks. So they are half tracks with a heavy autocannon and 2 heavy machine guns. I'm going to take 2 veteran Chaffies, and I've got 2 paratrooper squads, 2 ranger squads. I'll have a half track. I think, I've got a company commander who has the intelligence rule, which I forgot last time I played these. Anyway, so we're going out there. We're going to have fun. It's just 2 games. I say just 2 games. It's 2 games. It's going to be fun. And we'll catch you up on that next week. What else are we doing? Oh, now this is interesting, and it's just come through today. Let me have a look at this. Some of you will have seen this already, but I got Warlord did a little release today, giving us a little up to date of where they are. So now that the Armies of the Commonwealth is officially out now, so I can get my copy, and I'll do that video. So that's another video coming up next week. The Armies of France will be coming out next. So I would expect in the Armies of France, the forward artillery observer is going to be made like everybody else's and only have one strike. But they're going to have some new plastics, and they're going to have lists for French army, early war, obviously. Sorry, French, the Vichy and the Free French forces, which is really good. That was nice. And then they're talking about armies of Europe. So a lot of the other PDF forces are going to be put into a single book covering all those PDF forces, which will be interesting. And they're also saying that they're going to look at the armies that aren't covered by PDF forces. They're going to try and cover all the armies, and they're going to have PDFs coming for them. Now, the other European armies like Belgium, Poland, Finland, and Hungary, for example, they're going to put those in the armies of Europe book. And they're also going to have a fifth army, which is going to be the Partisans army. Now, we do already have Partisans as a PDF, I think. But they're going to come up with different rules saying that they can do blah, blah, blah. So Western Europe, Eastern Europe, and the Balkans. So you're going to have lots of options with those. And that could be quite exciting because partisans can play in various different ways. I'm going to do this now. More models. Armies of Europe is having its own plastic kits coming out. Blah, blah. Now, and then the little bit they put at the end of the post, they said, and after all that, question mark, we've got a very cool and very large project planned for giving you even more ways to play bolt action over the next few years. But you'll have to wait and see what that one is. We absolutely encourage speculation, but rest assured, it's looking like a lot of fun. Now, what do we all think that could be about? I have my suspicions that they're going to produce or they're going to license a computer game, perhaps. Now, unless they're going to steal my solo rules and have solo, which would be interesting. But I know there is a company that was doing a PC-based bolt action game, which I would be interested in, but I can't. There was a reason why I wasn't going to get into it, apart from I've only got the laptop. I'm wondering if it might be computer game. I'm kind of hoping not, in a way, because I like tabletop. But for those of us, as you know, we've seen with the interest in the solo bolt action, there's a lot of us don't have access to a club or somewhere to play, or even somebody else to play. And this would certainly open the options from a business point of view. It would make sense for Warlord to have some sort of a solo play game, because that would branch out their community that they can sell to. Or is it going to be something to do with K47? That's also an interesting idea. So who knows what it is? But yeah, that just came out today. I was quite intrigued with that. So we'll see how that goes. So I think we're just about coming to the end. I've probably whittled on for way too long already. It's probably about 50 minutes or so. Are there any last minute questions, guys, before I move on for the evening? Let's have a look. Karateka sent me a wee question. Motorcycle sidecars, are there any different rules to this unit from solo bikes? Thought I had read they could remount after dismounting, but I can't find where. Okay, You can take a motorcycle and sidecar car as a armored car in the armored car section, and it has slightly different workings to armored cars and motorcycles if they're with an infantry section. So the armored car, you cannot dismount from it, but it does have the recce and escape move, which is very, very handy, and they are fairly cheap. I'm not too sure how many armies have access to them. I know the Germans certainly do, because I play one in my German army, because it can be a little bit of a pain in the backside. If you're playing them as infantry, as soon as you get off the motorcycle, you can't remount. They're exactly the same as cavalry. If you dismount, that's it. You lose access to them, so you can't remount them. And I think, Coreticus, is that you playing them with early war? I think the British have access to motorcycles and motorcycle sidecars. So, as I say, if it's in the armored car section, they're just like a very small, tiny tank. So just treat them the same. If they're in your infantry sections where you can take motorcycles to get people about, as soon as they come off, similar to a horse, cavalry, you can't remount them. Although if you've got access to cavalry, cavalry is probably better than a motorcycle for your infantry, because at least you can charge on a horse in most cases. Not all armies can charge with their cavalry, but most armies can. But you can't charge anybody on a motorcycle. Cool. Unless you're a policeman and you're taking a fine. But anyway, we'll shut up about that. Scots, yeah. Raven, there is already a bolt action computer game coming out on Steam. Yeah, it is already out on Steam. That is Tabletop Battle. Is it Tabletop Battle? Tabletop Simulator. That's already there, and it's not free, because I think you have to pay for tabletop. I think that's about £30, but I think there's a lot of free modules you can add on. I've had a little play about with it, and I'm not quite au fait with it. And my wee laptop here isn't actually powerful enough to run it. Otherwise, I would be looking more into it. As we get some finances coming in, we might look to getting a proper PC at some stage, but that's a wee bit further down. We're getting some ideas of what Warlords are going to do. I'd say skirmish rules on a 4x4. Now, Bolt Action have already dabbled with skirmish rules. I was in on making the rules for that. And they've had a couple of dabbles with doing smaller skirmish games. So, yeah, they could be doing that. Yep, somebody else thinking one unit games. They had a game where it was just separate players, a bit like, is it Tabletop Command or Battle Command? I can't remember. There's one of these games where each model basically works as an individual unit. I think I still have the rules for those somewhere or other. Yep, Scott's saying they do free download. There's Firefight PDF as well, which was interesting. Didn't really take off any of these games, but I quite liked them. I might have another look into them. Raven Hobbies. There is a PC game coming out as well as Tabletop Simulator. Because I've been following those. Kraticus, thank you for that. Saw a YouTube video about Bolt Action being made into a computer game, but not by Sure. Yeah, that's one. When did Warlord stop stocking aircraft models for airstrikes? Oh, I didn't know they had. They used to do that at one time, because they are part owned by whoever owns Airfix. It's one of they're known for the railway models. I can't remember the name of the company, but they did have a time where they were doing the airplane game that Warlord do. My memory is getting terrible, where you could play it with the Airfix models, which was quite cool. But you can just go to Airfix. I think you can probably buy Airfix models through Warlord somewhere on their site. I need to have a look. Hornby, that's it, David. Well done. Actually, I think it's Who Owns Hornby. I can't remember who that is, but yeah, they own Hornby and they have a 50% share. It's either 50 or 49, but I think it's 49% share of Warlord. Blood Red Skies, thank you. Ryan Tomlinson, fantastic. I'm glad one of us has got a memory cell between us. Okay, dokie. We're running out of time. It's soon time for this old man to be in bed. Thank you so much for everybody turning up. Even when this live stream goes up as a video, I get about 400 views on it, which I find is absolutely amazing. So thank you all very much. Please let us know if there's any ways we can improve this. Obviously, I know we need a better camera and we need a better microphone. They will get there eventually. Because the success of the whole channel has really caught us all by surprise here. And take care, guys. Have lots of fun rolling dice. May your sixes be sixes when you need them. May your ones be ones when you need them. And we'll catch you again next week. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.